A little over 3 weeks ago, Sean Manaea dazzled the East Bay faithful as he threw the 7th no-hitter in Oakland history. It was an impressive performance against a very good offensive team in the Red Sox. Tonight, the scene shifts to Boston in historic Fenway Park. Manaea will once again have his hands full as the Red Sox continue to be a juggernaut and they take advantage of their hitter-friendly park. Manaea and the Athletics open up a 3-game series in Boston. Game 1 next. Well, stop 2 of this 3-city East Coast trip for the Athletics is Fenway Park in Boston. The big lefty gets the ball tonight for the Athletics. It's the Oakland A's and the Boston Red Sox coming up on NBC Sports California, powered by Xfinity. Hi again, everybody. Welcome to Oakland A's Baseball. Along with Ray Fosse, I'm Glenn Kuiper. Back in April, the A's took 2 out of 3 from the Red Sox at the Coliseum. Of course, Ray, middle game of that series was the Sean Manaea no-hitter, and it was certainly a night to remember, and Manaea gets the ball tonight.
And let's hope he thinks about that game pitching here at Fenway Park, because that was a spectacular performance by the left-hander. Final out here, ground ball to shortstop. This completed the no-hitter for Sean Manaea. Probably nobody expected it, even himself. He said, I didn't expect to pitch a no-hitter. He did, but what a great night it was for he and his teammates to be able to see that no-hitter. But look at these numbers here at Fenway. That's why you forget about where you're pitching, because here he's 0-2 with a really very, very high, ugly earned run average. But he has to think about what he did against this Red Sox club in Oakland, not think about Fenway Park.
All right, so when the conversation comes up about best player in the game, it usually starts with Mike Trout.
Right.
Fair enough, right?
Right.
But second, in my opinion, is Mookie Betts, the right fielder for the Boston Red Sox.
And you know, maybe if you want to start a ball club, you start with this young man, because he can do it all. He's hitting home runs in the leadoff position. He can do pretty much everything on the baseball field, and that's what you like in a great player, because he is 5'2". He can run, he can hit, it just showed that. How about his defense down the right field line yesterday in Toronto? Leaves his feet, he goes after the ball, catches it on the warning track. So if you're looking at the 5'2" player, and remember, he's playing right field here at Fenway, which you have to be like a center fielder, because it's so large here at Fenway Park. He is the complete package.
All right, and the Red Sox and Mookie Betts second in the American League in runs scored. Only the Yankees have scored more. Keep it right here on NBC Sports California. Up next, we'll check back in with the guys in the studio and then back to Fenway Park for game 1 of this 3-game series, the A's and the Red Sox.
Designed for the grind that comes through every time. See your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places. By Southwest Airlines, low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. And by Jack in the Box. Try the new Cholula Buttery Jack, part of the Buttery Jack family. Only at Jack in the Box.
Well, as we come back to Fenway Park, the Boston Red Sox take the field. And their starting pitcher tonight, Rick Porcello, the veteran right-hander. So we're just moments away from first pitch, game one of the three-game series. Nice night. Let's check the game time weather presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. The boardwalk is open. Visit beachboardwalk.com for park hours. 73 degrees and a nice day all around in Boston. Could be some rain on the way for tomorrow, but you know what? We're not going to worry about that.
Well, it's night for sure.
Beautiful night for baseball. So let's look at the lineup that Bob Melvin set out tonight for the Oakland Athletics. Brought to you by Southwest. Marcus Semien, Matt Joyce, Jed Lowry, and Chris Davis, Matt Olson, Matt Chapman, Mark Cannon, Jonathan Lucroy, Dustin Fowler, and Marcus Semien hot.
One of the pretty good pitchers for the Red Sox, the bearded one, Rick Porcello, signed Young Award winner a couple of years ago. A's did not see him last year in 2017. Record this year pretty impressive at 5-0 with a 279 earned run average. As you can see, he doesn't walk many batters. In 51 2/3, just 8 batters. And you look back the time that he was with Detroit when he first came up, they were monitoring his innings when he was such a young pitcher. Not so much anymore as he's with the Red Sox in the midst of the pretty good rotation.
Defensively for the Red Sox, Martinez, Benintendi, and Betts left, center, and right. Devers, Bogarts, Nunez, Ramirez on the infield with Sandy Leone doing the catching. So Porcello wrapping up his warm-up tosses. Remember the three-game series at the Coliseum? We talked about it in the open with the Manaea no-hitter. A's took 2 out of 3. They lost the first game 7-3, then won the no-hitter 3-0, and then won on Sunday 4-1 when Chris Davis hit a late home run against David Price. And A's played good baseball that series.
Yes, they did. They played great baseball. They swept the White Sox. They won 2 out of 3 against the Red Sox, which very impressive weekend. Good homestand. And they tried to at least like to do that after losing 2 out of 3 to the Yankees to start this road trip. And Rick Porcello and A's will see 2 starters they did not see in that series in Oakland tonight and tomorrow night. Of course, Chris Sale in the series finale on Wednesday. Some say might be a day-night doubleheader. Let's hope not, because hopefully the rain will stay away as it was yesterday in New York.
First pitch of the game to Marcus Semien is in for a strike. Semien, Joyce, and Lowry here in the top of the first inning. Marcus Semien coming off a good series in New York. He was 6 for 15 with 4 RBIs. He scored a couple of runs. He had a double. So he has his batting average up to 275.
And once again, Cap, we look out and we see the defense, and we know other teams will shift Marcus Semien, but not the Red Sox. They're not doing it.
That's about as straight up as you're going to get. There's your umpires. That's Ben May calling balls and strikes. Mark Wegner at first, John Tumpane at second, Jim Reynolds at third. Wegner is the crew chief.
It's a pitch right there, the curveball that Porcello likes to throw.
He's always had that pitch.
Yes, he has.
Marcus pops it up. Leone coming over. He may have a play and fighting it a little bit, but he does have a play. So Marcus Semien fouls out to the catcher to open up the ball game. Well, tonight, any 95-mile-per-hour fastball is our fast pitch, brought to you by Xfinity, the fastest Wi-Fi at home and on the go. Beautiful look at Fenway Park. It's been around a long time, but it's still a great place to come. Opened way back in 1912. 1912.
How about that?
Didn't it open and 4 days later the Titanic sunk?
Exactly right.
It's a fun place to come.
Took a long time for them to win a World Series, but they finally got that. 1918 was the last before 2004.
Matt Joyce rolls the first pitch he sees foul. A's are 19-21 on the year. They're 8-12 on the road, and they have lost 5 out of their last 6. So this is a big series. He's right now 6 games behind the first place Houston Astros, who lead the AL West by 1 game over the Angels. So you just want to stay close. I always feel like, Ray, even though that's the middle of May, so it's pretty good, but you want to stay 5 games or closer to the first place team. You don't want to get to where you're 7, 8, 9 games back.
No, that's a great point, because it does make a huge difference when you are in the thick of things. At least it's something to play for. Fans enjoy it, players love it, and of course the manager who wants to win every game definitely feels a lot better.
Well, I think our viewers who watch our games know how you and I feel about getting to the 500 mark and then separating. Well, the A's have gotten to the 500 mark. They just have not been able to separate and go forward on that. Now they're a couple games under 500. 3 here in Boston and 4 in Toronto. So 2-2 the count to Matt Joyce, hitting 190. He's got 3 home runs. Full shift on for Matt Joyce, who was 2 for 11 in that series in New York. He did hit a home run.
And they are shifting Matt Joyce.
And a fastball at 93 miles an hour, and Joyce strikes out.
You know, from the hitter standpoint, is Matt Joyce or the swing and miss victim on this 2-2 pitch, but you have to think, if you know the pitcher does not walk a lot of batters, that means he's going to be around the plate, and that should help a hitter. And you'd think that major league pitchers should be around the plate all the time. That is not necessarily true. But in the case of Porcello, the numbers will show that he is a strike throwing machine.
He's got just 8 walks in what is now 52 innings pitched as he faces Jed Lowry. I don't think Porcello is going to overpower you, but he does work the ball around. When he was a rookie, 20 years old, he always had that good sinking fastball. And now he's added much more to his repertoire as he's been around for quite a while. This is his 9th year, and he's still only 29 years old.
Well, when he first came up many years ago with the Tigers, I mean, never forget, they were, oh, we have to watch this young kid. We cannot let him, can't overwork him. But a little bit different now. But if you look back, the last time he faced the A's, 2016, a couple of starts, 1 in May, 1 in September. How about these scores? He won 13-3 and 11-2. I'd say getting some run support. And so his 5-0 record, and he's got a club that can provide him run support even this year.
This is some of the more of the numbers against the Athletics. First 8 starts, 2 and 5. Last 5, 4-0.
And of course, being in the Central Division with the Tigers and the Eastern Division with the Red Sox, in the case of, for example, last year, the A's didn't face him. So it can happen where if a pitcher does pitch, the most he would ever pitch against a team would be twice a year, simply because he's in a division outside of the West. There's Red Sox manager Alex Cora, his first season as Red Sox manager. Bench coach last year for A.J. Hinch and the world champion Houston Astros.
He had a good fall, Alex Cora. Got the job to manage the Red Sox, and what a World Series with the Astros. 2 pitch is rolled right into the Red Sox dugout.
Well, 2014, how about this 4-hit shutout against the Athletics? That was on July the 1st. And a very good team. There's Rajay Davis, and A's had a very good team that went on to play the Royals in the wild card. That was relatively early before a few of the trades were made. Porcello's good. And in that game, okay, he did not walk a batter, did not strike out a batter.
I remember.
4-hit shutout.
It was a quick game as well.
Yes, it was.
3-2 to Lowry.
So quick, the A's didn't like it. Didn't have time to be upset.
Lowry hits a high pop-up foul. Headed for the upper deck, although hitting one in the upper deck here is really not that much of a feat. You see balls a la spring training, go up, over, and out into the parking lot
right.
on foul balls.
It is a unique stadium, and they are late arriving a little bit, that they will stay until the bottom of the 8th when they sing As Always, Sweet Caroline.
I would say this is the most unique stadium in baseball. Would you?
Well, we don't see Wrigley as much, but I'd say
even Wrigley's got a fairly normal size upper deck.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And they're doing a lot of things at Wrigley Field to enhance an already stadium that people like to see. They're the monster seats that are relatively new. A very tough ticket at times.
Another foul ball. And this one is into the upper deck.
10th pitch coming up. That's good. They just keep adding every place they can. They add.
Just down past the Red Sox dugout.
All they're doing is taking up more foul territory.
Interesting.
Yeah, as they did along the
come from somewhere.
Third base dugout. They did the same thing.
Fly ball left field. J.D. Martinez waits. So Porcello wins that battle. He has a 3-up, 3-down inning. And we are headed to the bottom of the first. Yeah, he's having a good time. Sitting back, enjoying this one. He is not in the Red Sox lineup tonight, I guarantee you. Here is the Red Sox lineup, though, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Betts, Benintendi, Ramirez, Martinez, Bogarts, Nunez, Swihart, Devers, Leone.
And for Sean Manaea, coming off a no-hitter, and to what Ben Kuiper said earlier, every fan here knows exactly what he did against the Red Sox. They watched every inning of that game. And as you mentioned also, Mookie Betts said he would end any possibility of a no-hitter in his first at-bat. We'll see if that proves to be what he said. But Sean Manaea has not had any success here. And I mean, zero success at Fenway.
He had a start here in May 10th, 2016, where he gave up 8 runs in 2 2/3 innings. Ray, I want to say it was one of his first career starts. Am I right?
Well, you're exactly right. And as a matter of fact, his major league debut, 2 starts below against the Astros. And oh, by the way, in that game on the 16th, Mookie Betts led off the game with a home run.
His other start here was last year in September, and he gave up 7 runs in 3 2/3 innings. So 2 bad starts. Try to change that tonight. That one's hit hard up the middle. Lowry backhands, throws on the run, and Mookie Betts is retired.
Well, and that's what has happened for Sean Manaea, unfortunately, not in friendly confines for sure. And those 2 starts that Kite mentioned, the May 10th and the September the 12th, and you throw a combined 6 1/3 innings and you give up 21 hits and 15 earned runs. And 3 home runs, your ERA is going to be inflated, as we showed in our open.
Also a little different pitcher now. with a no-hitter on his resume.
You know, I think also, Kai, the fact that a changeup that he really enjoys throwing.
Same play for Lowry, and he gets Benintendi.
Two very good plays by Jed Lowry.
We'll talk about the changeup in just a second, and here is the defense for the A's. You see Lowry moving all over the place on the infield. Joyce, Fowler, Cannon in the outfield. Chapman, Simeon, Lowry, Olson on the infield, and Lucroy is your catcher as Hanley Ramirez steps up. Ray, you were talking about the Manaea changeup.
Well, he said that that is the pitch that has made him the type of pitcher that he is. You know, it's a pitch that he can throw off his fastball. He's got the 2 and 4 seam fastball, but if he can throw the changeup, which looks like the fastball, that's what fools the hitters more than anything. Pitch that the A's definitely said when they acquired him from Kansas City. And as we mentioned too, that he was told not to throw it in Kansas City. The A's said, oh, by all means, throw it, and he's had a lot of success because of it.
1-0 to Hanley Ramirez. Ramirez having a good season. 6 homers, 26 RBIs.
Did I read that he was going to be a catcher or something? Something going to work out in the off days.
He was practicing in the dugout. I think it was just for fun. I don't see him.
I cannot see him. No.
He can still hit a little bit. He was the final out of the Manaea no-hitter, and to Hanley Ramirez's credit, he social media said, hey, congratulations to Manaea.
That was great. Very nice. And you know, the guys in the studio talking about the games of inches or something, and that tag by Olson. Let's not forget that with Hanley Ramirez and his hair is part of his body. So just like the uniform that was barely nicked on Saturday with Matt Olson, should a ball hit one of the lengthy pieces of hair off Hanley Ramirez, it's like when Manny Ramirez had the dreadlocks down his back. That's part of the body.
This one tapped out in front of home plate. Lucroy hustles for it, fires to first, and they get Hanley Ramirez, and that's a 3-up, 3-down inning for Sean Manaea. No score after 1 from Fenway.
Brought to you by the Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid, America's first hybrid minivan. Test drive one today.
No score, top of the second. Look at downtown Boston. Both pitchers go 3-up, 3-down. First innings is now Porcello faces Davis, Olson, and Chapman here in the second inning. Chris Davis at 210, 11 homers, 35 RBIs. And he's got himself a base hit as Xander Bogaerts, the shortstop, was actually shaded a fair amount right towards second base.
Yeah.
And if you look where that ball was, it was really pretty much right at the normal shortstop position.
And pitching him inside off speed, which he's going to pull the pitch. And maybe it was unintentional. You're right. Look where he's playing. And that ball pretty much right there. And with his ability to go to his right and throw, that could have been an out.
Pitch Gas brought to you by SoFi, a modern finance company. Chris Davis has himself a base hit. And here's Matt Olson.
This was kind of the positioning right now defensively that the Red Sox employed against the Astros last year in the postseason when Josh Reddick won the game with a base hit right where the shortstop would have been playing. They were shifting him against Craig Kimbrell. So they do shift against certain players, but a little surprised at Marcus Semien. They were playing straight up.
We can't figure it out. We can talk about it, but we can't figure it out.
Absolutely not. Because someplace deep down there is somebody that says this is where he's going to hit it.
But I mean, listen, if you think about it, we see the A's hitters every day.
Every day, exactly.
So there are times when we kind of shake our head and go, really?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, why certain teams do certain things and others don't. And you know, some clubs will bunch the outfielders towards center field, towards the middle. But this, I mean, right now, JD Martinez, I mean, this is a straight up outfield. Infield shifted and figured he's going to hit the ball in the air to left. See the infield shifting him to the right. JD Martinez in the left part of your screen. In left field, in center field, Benintendi is straight away, as is Benson right field.
2-0 pitch. Good swing by Olson as he pops a foul back.
You know, I still say, and I would think that a hitter could look and see the defense and know how they're going to be pitched, but I don't necessarily think that is the case with certain pitchers, because some can and some cannot pitch into the shift. I mean, if you're going to shift a player, you'd like for him to be able to hit a pitch that is going to be where your defense is set up, not against, in this case, pitching him away.
I think Porcello probably can.
Yeah,
I would guess.
He's good enough. His
Pretty
control.
good control. Matt Olson's direction of hit, so he does hit the ball the other way some. I mean, he's got 9 hits to left field.
Well, when he's at his best, that's when he does go to the opposite field, especially with lefties, that he'll stay on and shoot the ball to left.
And a swing and a miss. 92-mile-an-hour fastball. Olson strikes out.
Well, it went upstairs and supposed to be inside, but it was up and away, and sending it on to the catcher down and in. So it's a case of a pitcher missing location badly, but the results are good for him.
So here's Chapman. So I want to ask you about Olson and Chapman. They're both struggling some. Olson now 10 for his last 65. Chapman 4 for his last 45. Now they're both confident players, very talented. Should we be worried about their confidence a little bit?
You know, I don't think so. I think, first of all, the manager, Bob Melvin, and the coach, Darren Bush, would talk to them, because there is an adjustment period, and they're both going through. They both came up last year. Of course, we know what Matt Olson did with the 24 home runs. Matt Chapman did a great job playing third, get experience, did play here in September when the A's came back. But there is an adjustment, and with all the analytics and the knowledge of how to pitch certain guys, if you perform well for just the period of time that you're playing, the numbers are going to come out. They're going to start to show what they're capable of hitting. And that's why I think a lot of times hitting, especially, is almost an adjustment at bat to at bat, because of how you're being pitched. One time to the batting order, second time, third, etc.
And the two guys we're talking about are both very good defenders. That certainly helps to even out the struggles they're having offensively right now.
You're right. It's going to keep them in the game. As the manager said, they're both defensively going to save a lot of runs, and they're both going to drive in a lot of runs as well.
Davis with his lead at first, 2-2 the count. That one toward third. Nice play by Devers, but it trickles off his glove, and Chapman's going to be aboard with a hit. Devers had it momentarily.
But it was going to be at least for the Red Sox, probably no more than just a force out at second base had he come up with it cleanly. But he did not, and Matt Chapman gets the base hit. Devers is a very good defensive third baseman and just could not corral the ball, and with it trickled far enough away, allowed Chris Davis to get to second base. But, you know, for Matt Chapman, you think about the weekend where he had his mother and father's birthdays Friday, Saturday, Mother's Day yesterday. Boston is like, well, they're here too. So, you know, he said, you know, you have to figure that the parents, when they have the opportunity, they're going to come and watch their son play at two of the greatest parks in baseball, in New York and Fenway Park. I mean, Yankee Stadium and Fenway, how could you not make that trip from there back to back if you could do it? Get to watch their son, but it's I mean, that's a challenge. I mean, pitchers are tough as it is, but then you have people watching them pulling for you.
1-1 the count to Mark Canha, so opportunity here for the A's against Porcello. Canha at 283. He's got 6 home runs and 16 runs batted in. He had a good series in New York.
You know, one thing he has proven, given the opportunity, they're going to find a place to put him in the lineup, because he is swinging the bat. Opposite field home runs, as we have seen. Right center yesterday afternoon. He got also one to right field, a couple to right field at Houston.
Pitches inside. This is the home run yesterday, late in the game.
He had hit a home run off of Severino, but this was against Shreve to right center field. No doubt of the right field in the bullpen of the Yankees on Mother's Day, as you see all the pink.
Porcello, 37 pitches. So really high pitch total in the first 2 innings for Porcello. .375 with runners in scoring position for Canha. And now he's sitting in a hitter's count at 3-1. Porcello struggling a little bit here in the second inning. Davis at second, Chapman at first. 3-1 pitch is hit high in the air and foul down the left field line.
Well, how about this one Saturday, Cap? As we talked about the 5-run inning for the Athletics, this check swing was not called. And here you see it from the side, and you know, his body went forward, got a no call, and then came up with a big 2-run single to left center field. He was thrown out at second base, but put 5 runs on the board for the Athletics. Unfortunately, they could not hang on and win that game, but Mark Canha shaking his head because I don't know that he was running full speed to first base, and unfortunately for him was thrown out at second by a good throw into second.
3-2 pitch. Mookie Betts backs up. Squares up. And he makes the catch. Chris Davis tags. He'll go to third. Canha's retired.
There's an example right there why Porcello has walked so few batters. As Betts mentioned, great speed, playing right field, which is probably the largest, the biggest, most massive right field in all of baseball. Left field very short with the green monster, but right field kind of goes that way to the point of the triangle right center and right field. You have to have 2 center fielders, 1 in center, 1 in right.
So here's Lucroy. Lucroy at 295 with 8 RBIs. He was 3 for 8 over the weekend in New York.
One of the things already noticeable, something the Red Sox pitchers will do in their home park, and that's pitch inside. Pitch inside a lot to the right-handers because figure right-handers like to extend and try to pull the ball either against or over the green monster. Most visiting teams like to pitch the right-handers away.
So the count even at 1-1 to Lucroy. As a team this year, hitting .251 with runners in scoring position. Not going to get it done this time. Is out at second base, and the A's strand a pair in the top of the second.
Presented by Lagunitas. Clear your calendar to be at the ballpark Friday, May the 25th against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Enjoy Oakland's best fireworks with a Star Wars twist. Visit athletics.com/Star Wars to get started. Should be a fun night. I'm sure those fans right there visiting Fenway Park. Saw a fan today decked out in all his A's stuff, saying, hey, you going to the game this week? Said, I'm going tonight. So he's here somewhere. I mean, talk about bucket list.
There's a base hit. J.D. Martinez goes after the first pitch. Martinez's first year in Boston. He's off to a terrific start.
And, you know, just thinking about him because first hit in the second inning after a no-hitter against the Red Sox at the Coliseum. But J.D. Martinez, you'd have to think he signed late. And almost at one time said, I have set out the season until I get my $200 million. Signs with the Red Sox, and sometimes that added pressure put on a player, but to get off the start he is having is special for him. Over 300 with 10 home runs, 33 driven in, coming off a huge year last year with the Diamondbacks.
So leadoff man aboard. Here's Xander Bogaerts. Remember when the A's and the Red Sox played last month at the Coliseum? Bogaerts was on the disabled list, as was and still is Dustin Pedroia. OPS numbers since 2014. J.D. Martinez third in all of baseball. OPS is on base and slugging combined.
Not surprising. Coincidentally, it was J.D. Martinez in the game we referenced earlier. 2014 hit a 2-run home run in the game that Porcello had the 4-hit complete game. Looking back at that game, Cappy had 17 ground ball outs and 10 fly ball outs. Did Porcello in the game where he 4-hit the A's.
Hits one toward right field where Canna backs up a little bit, and Canna makes the catch.
Well, you know, watching Mark Canna go after that ball, J.D. Martinez took about 10 steps off first and didn't move. When you see a guy struggling like that, maybe it's time to go back, because he ended up catching the ball on his going backwards, and know, right there is where Martinez might have been able to at least take off towards second base to see if he could make it. But maybe the wind blowing a little bit in right field for Mark Canha. Made the play, got the out, and kept the runner at first.
Here's Eduardo Nunez. Nunez playing second base in place of Dustin Pedroia. But Dustin Pedroia had knee surgery back in October, and it was fairly significant knee surgery, and he is still out, although he's getting close. In fact, I read today where he is playing in his first rehab game tonight.
Exactly.
So that's a big deal for the Red Sox.
Yeah, they go through this kind of a spring training for him, get some games played at the bats, and be back in the lineup. And it'd be a nice acquisition for the Red Sox.
That's right.
And they get their all-star, most valuable player, Schwartz, second baseman, back.
Sounded like Pedroia was going to play a fair amount of rehab games,
Yeah.
so he's probably still a couple weeks away, but a guy that they would love to get back into their lineup. Nunez, more of a versatile all-around player where he can play a number of different positions. I think that's what the Red Sox would like to do with him. Canha hustling over, and Canha grabs it. So 2 outs here in the second inning.
I don't know if by design or for Bogarts and Nunez going to right field. Maybe the fastball sneaking up on them a little bit quicker than they thought.
Here's the designated hitter, like Swihart.
A man who can do it all. His average and total production offensively to this point has not been that great. One of those young men that we saw in Oakland who is out of options. Good catcher. Red Sox have 2 very good catchers, so he's the third catcher, can play the outfield. DH as he is tonight, switch hitting. Versatile player.
The pitch, and it's 0-2. A couple of guys that are usually in the lineup every day for the Red Sox, getting the night off with Manaya on the hill. That's Mitch Moreland and Jackie Bradley Jr. Moreland will rest occasionally against a left-handed starter. Jackie Bradley struggling offensively this year, having a down year so far. So he's on the bench tonight.
Well, evidently Alex Cora, the manager, uses the phrase the chosen one to get the off day. I think for Babe Ruth Moreland, we're very happy that he's sitting down on the bench.
Yeah, he hasn't hit a home run against the A's yet. That one reached for, poked down the line, but it's going to be foul. See the netting going all the way down the line, quite a ways down the line here at Fenway Park. Past the tarp.
And this probably as close as it is to the playing field. This probably is. Well, I think they're one of the first to put in the extended netting. This is a horrible incident. The A's were in town. Look out.
Heads up, Vinny. Vinny and Ken Korak, neither of them made the play.
What are you doing? What are you doing? Get out of the way. Get out of the way.
I don't know. I didn't think it was a great effort. Did you, Ray?
No, I did. I mean, he's look at it. This.
Yeah.
It's kind of the way he reacts.
I was expecting more.
Yeah, he
I was expecting more.
That's the way he reacts on a cycle. It's kind of the same way.
Yeah. I mean, I think,
Yeah,
I think that's an E. I think it's an error.
Well, how about the reaction after the ball was already bouncing around?
EV, Air Vinny. 0-2 pitch, and he got him swinging on a foul tip. LaCroix holds on. So a leadoff single, nothing else for the Red Sox. We're scoreless after 2. Show me the Oakland A's in your X1 voice remote and get live stats on your TV. Change the way you experience TV with Xfinity X1. No score, top of the third from Fenway Park on a nice night here in Boston. He's kind of dodged the raindrops for really a couple days in New York. Yesterday at 2:39, the rain delay.
2:39, exactly. Walking out last night, meeting Dustin Fowler's father. Some A's fans in the house tonight. Matter of fact, the one thing he said, I guess I made a fool out of myself. He said, I said, no, it's what a father's supposed to be excited when his son gets his first major league hit.
He did not make a fool out of himself. So 1-2 to Dustin Fowler.
Dustin kind of quiet. His father's
a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, his father's got some energy about it. And it's good to see it happen, and especially against the team that traded him. Talk about just getting your feet under, get your feet wet in Major League Baseball. Dustin Fowler getting that opportunity, and he's got a great career ahead of him.
And that one's right there. Strike three called, and Fowler knew it.
Friday night at Yankee Stadium, Dustin Fowler with the runner at second base, and Sonny Gray, the man he's traded for, base hit solidly hit the right field. And there's Dad, his parents, everybody excited, and a little smile from Dustin Fowler. First of many hits for the young man. Tonight got a two-seam fastball, frozen.
First pitch to Marcus Semien, down and away. Semien has never had a hit against Porcello. He's 0 for 13. Remember, Porcello won the Cy Young a couple of years ago. That was in 2016.
And he was horrible last year.
Good last year.
No, A's did not face him in 17, but you're right about 16. He was unbelievable, and especially those two games. I talk about run support. 2 starts against the A's, total of 24 runs.
He was 22-4 in 2016 when he won the Cy Young. He had a 3.15 ERA that season. Last year, 11-17. Devers ranges to his left, throws across, and Semien is out.
It's like Brett Saberhagen. Saberhagen always, every other year, was excellent.
How about this? How about this, though? December 11th, 2014, traded from Detroit to the Red Sox for Yoenis Cespedes.
That's right.
That was a big deal.
Yeah, Yoenis didn't like being in Boston. It's Detroit, and of course signed with the Mets.
And he was not in Detroit very long.
No, he wasn't. No.
That's right. He went from the Tigers to the Mets then at the trade deadline, I believe.
Had an opt-out, and then they extended him beyond after the opt-out.
Yeah, he's. I think he likes it in New York.
Yeah.
Cespedes.
Well, he likes his cars. We know that.
Porcello traded for Cespedes. Interesting deal. Dave Dombrowski, the president of baseball operations for the Boston Red Sox.
I think Dave said it best when he was in Oakland. He travels with the club all the time, and he says, you know, a lot of times there are more things done on the road than at home. Of course, he's here tonight at Fenway Park. They just came off a road trip. But he said that Tony La Russa would be in that position. He is the advisor to Dave Dombrowski. That's when Dave goes to the minor leagues for maybe 7 to 10 days. There is Tony as we speak, the Hall of Fame manager. World champion Oakland A's in '89, the last time the A's won a world championship.
Think they're talking baseball?
I think they talk anything but.
Vice President, Special Assistant to Dave Dombrowski.
But you know, the one thing that he does, and Alex Cora has talked about being a sponge with Tony La Russa around here in spring training. Of course, Cora in his first year managing, and Tony, a Hall of Fame manager, and probably could have continued, but I think he finishes 3rd most wins ever by a manager.
3-2 to Matt Joyce. And Joyce drives one to right field. Betts turning around, and that baby's gone.
Good swing.
Matt Joyce gives the A's a 1-0 lead here in the third.
And that's not a green monster shot either. That's a true home run when you go right field at Fenway Park. Trying to go inside, that ball just right there, and Matt swung. He knew it just like he did in New York. So a couple of home runs on this road trip for the A's outfielder. No doubter. Just to the right of the A's bullpen in right field. So a 2-out home run.
And maybe Matt Joyce is heating up a little bit.
It's great. 25 last year, career best for him.
Want to know to Lowry. Lowry hit a fly ball to left field. Flips this one down the line. Martinez coming in. Martinez grabs it. So that will do it for the A's, but Matt Joyce gets the A's on the board with a solo home run to right field. So bottom of the third coming up. The A's leading the Red Sox 1-0. The third inning. Sean Manaea will face Phil Devers leading it off, the young third baseman. Rafael Devers. 257 with 6 home runs and 24 runs batted in for Devers. He's got 8 doubles. Talked a lot about the young talent that the Yankees have over the weekend. I'd say the same thing about the Red Sox with Betts and Bradley and Tende and Devers. Bogart's still a young player. Devers 0-2 pitch. He swings and misses. Second strikeout for Manaea.
That's what you like about Sean Manaea. He's very almost kind of casual with his delivery, and then he throws a fastball, just throws it by Devers, and it's one of those, we're not going to mess around, throw a lot of pitches, and that's how you stay in the game. That's how you complete games, by keeping the pitch count down. So he got ahead with a couple of breaking pitches, went right after him with a good fastball, and put him away. The way you do it.
Here's Sandy Leon. Leon hitting 159. Fourth year in Boston for Sandy Leon. Got to the big leagues with the Nationals. Something to be said about a switch hitting catcher.
That's right. I was thinking of New York about Great Hall of Famer Mickey Mantle, whose father told him, son, you learn how to switch hit, they'll never platoon for you. So he was pretty good from both sides.
Well, you think about it, you talked about the Red Sox having 3 catchers, which is the manager likes it. Well, 2 of those 3 are switch hitters.
Right. I think it's great if you have somebody that you can. I mean, usually catchers don't run that fast. And if you can pinch run for them without worrying about the extra catcher having only one, being the only one that you have left, and it can work beneficially for you. Is this hard slider down and in. That is a great put-away pitch for Sean Manaea out of the strike zone, but looks like a strike. Comes in and then disappears down out of the strike zone.
So 2 outs. Here's the leadoff man, Mookie Betts, and he holds the first one foul. Check out the season for Mookie Betts. America League, first in average, first in slugging, first in OPS, first in runs, tied for first in homers, second in on-base percentage.
Leadoff hitter.
Oh, by the way, he's also 3rd in the league in doubles.
And also, he's a great bowler.
So when I said at the open of our show today, when we were talking about Betts, the fact that when you have this conversation about best players in the game, I think most people will agree that Mike Trout is the best all-around player in the game. You say, okay, well, who's next? I think you can make a very strong argument for Mookie Betts.
Yeah. And you think how that prototypical leadoff hitter has changed dramatically. I mean, you think of George Springer and his ability to hit home runs and lead off a game. Mookie Betts, you know, it's almost now, of course, Betts is a 5-tool. He can run as well as hit home runs. But if you can lead off a game with a hitter, and of course, he's going to get extra bats because he is in the leadoff position, top of the batting order, and he's handled it well.
Betts has not been around very long. This is his 4th full season in the big leagues. He rips one to center field for a base hit. Off speed pitch, he kind of waited and then just attacked it and drilled it right up the middle.
Well, he didn't get the first hit against Sean Manaea, but he got the second. But it comes with 2 outs in this 3rd inning, and it is 84, and put the foot down, kept the bat back, and that's how you hit a good changeup, especially like that one from Sean Manaea. Take it back up the middle.
Betts in this ballpark, a .439 batting average. Here's Benintendi. Betts is leaning, and there he goes. Benintendi taking, throw to second base, not in time, and Betts is able to keep his hand on the bag. So he went on first move, and he gets a stolen base.
Well, then Benintendi doing a good job taking the pitch, left-handed hitter. That's with the head down, straight steal all the way, and of course the tag continued to be applied. Benintendi just standing at home plate, taken all the way. Of course, with the green light by Betts, didn't know if he's going or not, but he's at least going to give him the opportunity. He steals it easily.
So Betts is now 8 for 9 in stolen bases this year, and he's the tying run. Betts has stole 26 bases in each of the last 2 seasons, so he's on pace to pass up that number. And that one past Luke Croy, and Betts will go to 3rd.
Well, just overthrew, and Jonathan Lucroy kind of got turned around with his catcher's mitt, how to catch the ball. And a couple of times where he's turned his catcher's mitt really the wrong way when trying to catch a pitch running away from him to the outside.
Missed again. Now the count 2-1. Slight shift on for Benintendi. Simeon to his left, behind second base a little bit. Chapman over a couple steps. There's Benintendi involved in that controversial play during the Manaea no-hitter where he went out of the baseline, was originally called safe, and then the call was changed and he was called out. 10% of plate appearances reach a 3-ball count. That one didn't have to reach a 3-ball count.
That's right. Wow.
Good pitch.
Hey, it froze Benintendi, and that could not. It could have been called a strike. You're right. And you know, the A's are playing in two very tough venues: Yankee Stadium and Fenway Park. That's where Ramirez in the on-deck circle. You got lefty on lefty, and you'd like to think, well, start fresh for the next hitter, but that may not be the case with Ramirez, who is a very good hitter.
Chapman, what a play. Turns around. His throw to first is not in time. It gets past Olson, goes into the dugout. Betts scores. Benintendi will go to second. Well, that's too bad because Matt Chapman made a terrific play. But his throw got past Olson.
You know, I was hopeful that when he threw it, it had such a strong arm, bounce it. And you kept waiting for it to bounce. It did, but too close to Matt Olson. If it had bounced farther out in front, it might have been a good play just to be able to catch it. But the fact that it bounced where it did, it scooted past Olson right there. He was expecting the ball to come up. It stayed down. So that is a tough play. Is it a hit and an error or just a straight error? Showing an error on the scoreboard, E5, but should have been a hit and error considering the way it was.
So here's Hanley Ramirez, and he pops it up. Chapman near the seats, and it's just into the seats.
That is exactly what we're talking about with the limited foul territory here. That's an extra swing for the hitter, in this case Hanley Ramirez, where at the Coliseum with the foul territory, it's an out. But there's the seats down the third base from the dugout. Those about 4 rows have been added. Usually it would be back to the edge, the front edge of the dugout was the line for foul ball. But they've added the seats, as they add seats every place they can.
0-1 to Hanley Ramirez. And he drives on the right field, and that's going to be a base hit. Here comes Canna. He's got it. And Canna's going to throw it into second base as Benintendi scores. And the Red Sox take the lead 2-1. This happening with 2 outs.
Yeah, that's it, and that's good hitting by Hanley Ramirez, and this is what makes him so good, especially with a runner in scoring position. He stays back, very similar to one Manny Ramirez, played here for many years, and with 2 outs and the runner on the move, no chance for Mark Canna, so no reason to take a chance and make an errant throw, allowing another runner to get in scoring position.
So Ramirez gets his 27th RBI, and here's J.D. Martinez.
So 2 strikeouts to start the inning. Total of 7 pitches, and a changeup for a base hit, 3-2 count.
That's the numbers against the Red Sox.
Well, you know, you think about it, Cap, the fly ball that's just into the seats on third base line, it's out the Coliseum. So it's 1-1 at the Coliseum. It's 2-1 here with Hanley Ramirez getting another opportunity. And that's the benefit of playing here because of the minimal foul territory.
Chapman scoops it. He'll throw to first, and that will do it. Red Sox get 2 runs on 3 hits. So we're on to the fourth inning. Boston now leading the A's 2-1.
Heroes, because no matter where you serve or when you serve, we stand ready to serve all military families.
Chris Davis leading it off for the A's. He's now trailing 2-1, fourth inning. Chris Davis had a base hit in the first. Second, excuse me.
Where did he have the? Where did he hit the ball? Look at the defense.
He hit it right where Bogarts is.
Exactly.
That's funny.
And there he is. That's it. Talk about making adjustments in game. The defense of the Red Sox did.
And Bogarts says, you know, that's where I should have been playing in the second inning. Here's Matt Olson, who struck out in the second. Red Sox will shift to the right side for Matt Olson. Nunez out in shallow right field, and there's a base hit. So Matt Olson goes after the first pitch.
That's how you beat the shift. Now, speaking of shifts, we saw David Ortiz a little bit earlier. That breaking ball coming into the wheelhouse of Matt Olson. See the extension of the bat kind of halfway over the plate. Split the gap with the shift to the second baseman and shortstop. But David Ortiz, probably the one player who said the shift cost me to leave baseball, because they used to shift him in shallow, way in shallow right field, because his Achilles problems affected him where he could not run that well.
Well, David Ortiz was, I mean, he hit a lot of balls in the air to left field.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
But he never hit a ball on the ground to the left side.
No,
it just never happened.
No. Line drives, flying balls, you're right, but not ground balls.
Which is probably not that uncommon for a left-handed power hitter. You're not going to hit a lot of ground balls anyway.
But the one thing we saw last inning is something that the Red Sox did not do a lot of, and that's steal bases. David Ortiz, the number retired. It's Jackie Robinson, 42. But the one thing with David Ortiz, and it kind of affected him last year when Ortiz had retired after the previous year.
Broken bat, but it's going to work into center field for a base hit. Into the bat, lands right near Devers at third base. So Chapman is 2 for 2.
Well, we saw Giancarlo Stanton yesterday, and over the weekend, Yankee Stadium got about 5 hits with broken bats. 5 broken bats, 5 hits, but not Chapman strong enough to do that. But I can't remember a lot of times that the Red Sox would even consider stealing a base with David Ortiz in the lineup. But they did last inning with 2 outs, and Mookie Betts not only scored the tying run, but The go-ahead run was brought in by Hanley Ramirez after that single with 2 outs and stole second.
First pitch to Canna is inside. Canna hit a fly ball to right field in his first at bat. 5 hits now for the A's against Rick Porcello. Porcello coming into tonight with the 10th best ERA in the American League. Matt Williams steps back out of the way.
Matt in front of the coaching box at third base. They're supposed to be either in the box or behind it. But he's trying to get a good angle for Matt Olson. This is not a fun place to be a third base coach. I say that every time I come in here, but very, very short right field or left field wall. Right field is forever.
And really what a third base coach could do, you know, most of the time he gets a sign from the manager in the dugout and gives the sign to the hitter. Really, Matt could just turn around and go, Bob, what do you want to do?
Exactly.
And Bob could say, let's bunt.
Yeah.
And nobody would hear it. That's how close he is to the entrance to the dugout.
Well, what's really bad here, though, the catcher looking in the dugout for signs.
That's a long
as,
way.
as nice as easy as it is for Matt Williams at third base, it's horrible for the catchers.
1-2 pitch. Strike 3 call. Canna spins around, heads back to the dugout.
Well, front door slider. He knew it, froze right there, couldn't pull the trigger, and the call was made.
And it's funny that you mentioned the dugout situation here right before a strikeout, because it's a long walk back. The dugouts here in this ballpark are further down the line than any other ballpark.
Yeah.
The dugouts are right even with third base and first base, which is very far down.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you strike out, the walk from home plate to the dugout is a long, long walk.
If you're on the visiting side, you're hearing a lot of things.
Yeah, you have an extra 10 seconds to hear numerous things about your family and friends. But it's a long ways. Most of the dugouts are much closer to home plate. Now, if you hit a home run and you're a Red Sox player, you have more time to have people stare at you and cheer for you,
Exactly.
which is nice. Lucroy takes a close pitch. Porcello thought maybe it was a strike.
Chaminade trying to stay loose, and there's the netting above the dugout. He's look at Manaya, but there's the netting going up to protect the fans who are sitting behind the dugout, and all the way down towards home plate, which is a good idea.
Lucroy bounced out in the second inning, and this one's tapped foul. See that spot right there where the wall kind of goes at an angle. To me, that's a very, very dangerous spot because you're so close to where a lot of foul balls go.
And you know, the fans are getting used to the netting. I think they'd rather have the protection, which it goes down all the way into that corner that you just referenced. And so those fans, they may duck a little bit if a line drive comes down there, but the netting's going to protect them.
Lucroy takes inside. So now a full count, 2 outs, and Olson at second, Chapman at first will take off with the pitch. So that'll help the A's in this situation.
Cap, here's what we've talked about. Here's a young man who does not walk very many. So from Jonathan Lucroy's standpoint, while it may not be a fastball 3-2, he can figure whatever Porcello throws is going to be around the plate.
Runners go, and it's lined left field line. Fair ball. Olson scores. Chapman's right behind him, digging around third. He will score easily. And a big hit for Jonathan Lucroy knocks in a pair.
Now the A's 3 runs scored so far have come with 2 outs. Home run last inning, and here's the case. There's the same pitch that Mark Canha struck out on and froze. Jonathan Lucroy, though, stayed with it down in the corner and over Devers' head down into the left field corner, which means with a 3-2 count and 2 outs, Matt Chapman with great speed from first base able to score easily. And Jonathan Lucroy gets RBIs number 9 and 10. It's the 11th double of the season. Someone asked me in New York, said, has Lucroy lost his pop? And I said, Well, I'll take those doubles driving in runs. You know, home runs are nice, but maybe he won't hit as many home runs. But if he can do that, and let's not forget he signed March the 12th. So Matt Olson on the move with Matt Chapman right behind him down in the corner. Very easily for Matt Williams to be able to send both of them and then stop Jonathan Lucroy at second.
I tell you what, Matt Williams, that's Chip Hale material.
That's
right
exactly
right. Hit well to left center. Benintendi at the wall, and it's off the wall. Lucroy will score. Fowler flying around second, and he's going to have a stand-up triple. Ball got up, and it looked like it just kept carrying.
Boy, what a great thing to see. Fowler's not even breathing hard. That's sad. To be able to hit a ball and just glide around the bases. And again, talking to people in New York, watching him run, there was some concern about the serious knee injury. But this ball off the wall, Benintendi really had the ball just elude his glove as he hit the wall. Backing up was J.D. Martinez. But watch Dustin Fowler. Watch this smoothness of this running. I mean, and then he kicks it in gear. And this is an easy triple for him. Wow, is that fun to watch? Just to add that dimension, the speed to this ball club. His first triple of his career, of course, a lot of firsts for him. So 2 very big 2-out hits to drive in 3 runs.
And 4 hits now in the inning. There's Marcus Semien. Nice play by Leo. First RBI for Fowler. So the A's lead at 4-2 here in the top of the 4th.
And no shutdown inning for Rick Porcello, but you know, also his pitch count is very high, and he may be losing a little bit.
There's a strike.
Yeah, he's pitching out of frustration.
Semien, a foul out to the catcher and a ground out to third, so he's 0 for 2. Bounce slowly toward short. Bogarts has it. Throws in time, but the A's do some damage against Rick Porcello. They score 3 times on 4 hits. A's now lead it 4-2.
Out of Shawmanai's no-hitter. What a great line. 9 innings, no hits, a couple of walks, 10 strikeouts, 108 pitches, 75 strikes. And Shawmania, who would ever have thought that Shawmania pitched no-hitter, that was the final out given to him, and boom, boom, boom. And this is the best part when he put on the double bubble hat. Boom! Got it. Love it. Push it down there, boy. Keep it tight. But that was a great outing. What a nice man. And for him to give a lot of credit to his college teammate who taught him the changeup, and to know that that is a pitch that has really been great for him as a major league pitcher. 12th no-hitter Athletics history. It's his first complete game. And for 16 innings, and we may count tonight also, 16 innings in back-to-back starts against the Red Sox and the Astros. He did not shake his head once with Jonathan Lucroy catching. No hit, first up since '93. Chris Bosio. First lefty since '83, Dave Borghetti. And pretty special evening for the tall left-hander. And he handled it so well. And just trying to get a big shutdown inning here. I think one of the best things for any pitcher to be able to say, I have confidence in my catcher. And whether it's Jonathan Lucroy and Bruce Maxwell, who are two catchers for the A's, just say, you run the game. You call the game, you call the pitches, and I'll go with you. To really the point, I would say pitchers stay out of meetings. That way, just let the catchers have the responsibility of handling the pitching staff and really not say this guy can do this guy can do that. Well, maybe I as a pitcher can't do what you want me to do. And Jonathan Lucroy, in this case, very studious, knows the hitters. And Sean Manaea likes what he's calling because he keeps going with it.
Bogaerts with the walk. There was a little controversy in the no-hitter. Sometimes there are. This was midway through the game, a pop-up that Semien went back on. Not an easy play. And it was ruled E6.
Well, it wasn't a clean hit. A clean hit would be one that, just as we have seen, one that J.D. Martinez got, one Mookie Betts got.
No, I'm not saying it was a major controversy because it really wasn't. Most people felt like that was the correct call.
But I was surprised to talk to official score, and he said he was not going to change it even if the Red Sox had gotten a clean hit.
And then a little bit later on in the game, of course, the Benintendi play at first base, which was probably a little bit more controversial because it was an overturned call. Umpires talked about it. It was the out of the baseline going down the first base line call. So that was a little bit controversial. Red Sox obviously very much disagreed with what happened. There's a base hit by Eduardo Nunez. So Red Sox jump right back into action here. 2 on, nobody out. So here's the play. And again, he was originally called safe, and it would have been a base hit.
Yeah. But right there, when he tries to avoid the tag, he got beyond the 3-foot baseline that Eddie Montague was telling us about. And because of that fact, Bob Melvin had challenged it. And he said, I was trying to avoid the tag. Well, they're trying to avoid the tag down the line. See, from my understanding, you create your own 3-foot path where you're running. But if you get out of that path, then trying to avoid a tag, as Benintendi did, then you consider it out. And that's the way the call was. So right now, Sean Manaea seeing his club score 3 with 2 outs, trying to pitch well enough, and infield maybe expecting a bunt from Blake Swihart.
So 2 on, nobody out. Here is Swihart. Olsen cheating in a little bit. Bounce to Semien. He's got it. Out at second. On to first. Double play. And a big one. So 6-4-3, and now 2 away.
Boy, that was tailor-made and good play by Marcus Semien because it was not a true hop coming to him, but he handled it perfectly. With the ball coming up, got it, handled it nicely. Throw to Jed Lowry across the bag. Getting down quickly was Nunez, and a clear path for Jed Lowry to complete the double play, and a perfect double play.
So now you got to get Rafael Devers. Devers struck out in the 3rd. So Bogaerts now at 3rd with 2 outs. Taps this one slowly up the first base line. It's a fair ball. Olsen grabs it, the tag, and the inning is over. So the Red Sox threatened, but a big double play ball helps out Sean Manaea. Canucks have a midweek battle against the Vancouver Whitecaps. Also streaming live on the NBC Sports app. The home of the authentic Quakes fan is NBC Sports California. Top of the 5th inning from Fenway Park with the A's leading the Red Sox 4-2. It's the top of the 5th inning. Matt Joyce to lead it off. Joyce homered his last at bat. Ball well into the seats in right field. Lowry to follow, and then Davis. He's hit 6 home runs in that 3-game series over the weekend in New York. Now at 49 home runs on the year. They're 9th in the league in total home runs hit. So they've slowed down a little bit hitting home run.
But coming out
certainly change quickly.
2-out hits like Lucroy and Fowler did, you take those, and because big hits like that are as important to me as a home run is, because you can drive in a lot more runs, get in the way, doing the way Lucroy and Fowler did. 1 home run sounds great, but man, you'd love those 2-out hits.
And that one's drilled toward right center field. So Matt Joyce is 2 for 3.
Slow breaking ball and went out and raked it into right center as it just floated in. Matt Joyce reaching out and really never broke into the strike zone. Look, you know one thing about a pitcher who does not walk a lot of batters, and you could say, wow, that's great because he does not want to put free passes on. But sometimes I think it can be a deterrent because, for example, if you go 3-2 and you're a hitter and you know the pitcher doesn't walk a lot, he's going to be around the strike zone, and you're not going to see a lot of chase pitches. The ball that Lucroy hit was a 3-2, really hanging front door slider. And you know, if he throws that same hard slider away, maybe gets him to chase. But he doesn't walk guys. Yeah. And I think sometimes that can work against a pitcher.
And I wouldn't say Porcello, and he's a very good pitcher, I wouldn't say he has a dominant put-away pitch.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. And if he doesn't get to the 3-ball count, really doesn't have to worry about it. But, I mean, he froze Canna, and maybe Lucroy hitting right behind him when he froze him with the front door slider, that Lucroy's thinking, hey, he's going to throw me something similar, not going to give in to me. Throw him a slider that stayed on the inside part of the plate, raked it down the line.
One pitch, Lowry fouls it back. Jed Lowry spent the beginning of his career right here in Red Sox uniform.
Yeah.
He was a first-round draft pick in 2005. Of course, went to Stanford and had a 4-year run here in Boston.
If he had stayed healthy, he might still be here.
And he went to the Astros, to the A's, to the Astros, to the A's.
And having a great 2018 season.
And he drives that one toward left center field, but Benintendi got a good jump, and he gets over there to make the catch. But Lowry, when he was with the Red Sox, he was kind of in that point in his career where he was AAA, big leagues, had a couple injuries. The most games he played in one season here in Boston was 88. And he was playing shortstop at that time, too. Jed Carlson Lowry. Did you know that was his middle name?
Now I do.
Now you do. I have no idea why they threw that in there. Just...
I think it's a good nugget, man. That's a good note. I bet there are a lot of people didn't know that.
I like it. Keith Hembry starting to throw. This will be pitch number 90 coming up by Rick Porcello. Quick throw. Davis gets back.
Yeah. So our great producer points out that Josh Reddick was a Red Sox, an Athletic, and then an Astro with the Dodgers short time at the end of the 2016 season. We don't count that, though.
Big chopper to Devers. He's got it. Fires to second for one. On to first. Nunez turns the double play. And the Red Sox get a double play of their own. That ends the top of the 5th inning.
It's called Beat the Streak. You can start your streak for a chance at $5.6 million. You can download Beat the Streak today, right now. Don't hesitate.
So the A's leading 4-2, bottom of the 5th inning from Fenway. Sean Manaea out of a jam in the 4th inning by getting a big double play. So he faces Leon, Betts, and Benintendi here in the bottom of the 5th. Bounce foul. Manaea trying to defeat the Red Sox team with, along with the Yankees, the best record in all of baseball. 28-12. Not good news for the Seattle Mariners. Fractured right hand for Robinson Cano. He was hit by a pitch, so he is going to be out for a while. Mariners are in Minnesota tonight, and they're actually playing a makeup game.
How about that?
They had a April 8th postponement, and they're not getting any help tonight either. Wow, that's done good.
On the way home to start a homestand, but a stop off on an off day.
There's a shot up the middle, and that's a base hit for Leon. So hit number 6 for the Red Sox.
Well, another 2-strike pitch, just like Mookie Betts. This back door, change up, and now it's one of those that give the hitters credit because they're not trying to pull the pitch. They're staying with it, going up the middle. Betts did it, and now Leon does it. Sean Manaea's pitch count is good. Porcello at 90 through 5 innings.
First pitch to Betts. Strike on the outside corner. The Mariners have said that, of course, you got a big gap at second base now. They said they will not move D. Gordon from center field to second base.
It's a good idea.
They're going to leave him in center field.
I don't blame him.
So they will find somebody to play second base. Taylor Motter can play there. They called up Gordon Beckham. They had him in the minor leagues.
Yeah, I think Gordon Beckham is a young man who could play various positions, and we saw him at third when he came up to the big leagues, and shortstop second. I think that's a good idea because you got Gordon's speed in the outfield. He's played well. Might as well leave him there.
0-2 to Mookie Betts. shoots one foul. The Rangers are off today. They will be at Seattle Tuesday and Wednesday. Big series tonight in Anaheim. The Astros and the Angels, the first of three. McCullers and Heaney. It's the second series of the year between those two teams. And of course, coming into today, the Astros with a one-game lead over the Angels in the AL West. Drive to left. And it is off the top of the wall. Leon read it well. He's going to hustle into third. Betts has a double. But it's second and third and nobody out. Betts missed a home run by maybe 3-4 feet.
That's about it. And sadly, in this inning, both hits have come with 2 strikes. They try to go in. A breaking ball is flat. And the A's are fortunate that this ball did not go into the seats for a 2-run home run. That close to being into the monster seats. Came off the wall, but you play here enough, you know when you're running the bases. And although Leon does not run that fast, is able to at least get to third base.
16th double of the year for Mookie Betts. Here's Benintendi. Chapman playing even with the bag. And the first pitch is low. Olsen maybe a step or two. On deck is Hanley Ramirez. Benintendi, infield hit that knocked in a run in the third inning. Canna hustling in. Canna is going to make the catch. Leon is going to bluff, and Canna makes a nice throw in. So that's out number 1. Big out.
That is a huge out, but boy, you've got some trouble coming up. But Canna, Leon fortunate does not run one, nobody out. You got Ramirez and JD Martinez due up third and fourth in this inning, so no reason to chance sending the runner. So good pitch by Sean Manaea to get the lefty, but got a couple of hitters, and again you could look at Hanley Ramirez, like the other Ramirez who played so long here. While he's capable of hitting home runs, he's more capable of driving in runs.
And Ramirez had the RBI hit in the third.
He's on a fastball that he just let travel.
Lays off that one. It's just a touch outside. And Ramirez in his 4th year here in Boston. Bounces that one in the hole. Simeon's got it. He's going to get Betts in a rundown. The run's going to come in to score. And Mookie Betts is going to make this difficult for the A's, and they finally tag him on the infield dirt. But Ramirez gets to second, and a run comes in to score. So it's 4-3 now with 2 outs, and give Ramirez an RBI on a fielder's choice.
Well, and a great job by Mookie Betts too, because he stayed in the rundown long enough. He thought the ball might be going through. He got caught kind of in between, and good play by Marcus Semien. But the rundown right here, and probably the one once the ball went to Matt Chapman, run him all the way back. Run him, keep going, but you panic. That's what happens. If he had kept running, then basically he would have run into an out with Semien at second base. But you know, that depth perception, kind of not knowing where the runner is when you're throwing, you don't want to take a chance, especially with the speed of Betts, to be able to make it safely in the second.
JD Martinez drives on the right, but Canna's right there, and he makes the catch. So a run on 2 hits for the Red Sox. We're moving to the 6th from Fenway. 4-3 A's lead. Our teacher program is here recognizing teachers that make a difference. Visit NBCSportsCalifornia.com and vote. Remember, the winner receives $20,000 for his or her school. Sixth inning from Fenway, game one of the three-game series. He's leading 4-3.
I think the 27th out's not going to be hard tonight. I mean, you look at this game, the way everything's been happening, you think, wow, it's the top of the sixth inning.
Yeah, I'm afraid you're right. Olson's 1 for 2. He singled and scored in the fourth. That's the inning the A's scored 3 times. Swing and a miss. And the Red Sox and the Yankees both at 28 and 12. So they're obviously tied atop the AL East. That's Carson Smith starting to throw. And those two teams are starting to separate themselves a little bit in the American League East. The Blue Jays 7.5 back, and then Tampa and Baltimore 11 and 15.5 back. Blue Jays just trying to hang on.
Everybody knows the Eastern Division is one of the toughest in baseball, especially when you have two teams willing to spend the money.
Do you see who has the best record in the National League? The Atlanta Braves.
Yeah, how about that?
Is that unbelievable?
Yeah.
And they won again today at Wrigley.
That's that third base coach, Ron Washington, man.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Playing well. Kurt Suzuki, another former Athletic, who's catching for them.
Olson rips one right field, and that baby's gone. A line shot over the bullpen and into the seats.
Yeah, that's always a big boy home run when you go over the pen. Seeing Canseco as a right-hander go over the bullpens, but I mean, you could just hear the crowd, or not hear the crowd, however you want to put it. As soon as Matt Olson, another 3-2 shot, and kind of another case of a 3-2 pitch that may be too much to the plate for Rick Porcello. And Matt Joyce did it on a 3-2 pitch, and now with this shot, a 3-2 fastball over the bullpen. And we know after hitting 24 last year in a less than a half season, Matt Olson very capable of doing what he did.
So good night for Matt Olson. And for Rick Porcello coming into this start, he had allowed just 2 home runs. And he's allowed 2 tonight. So the A's get the run back. They lead by 5-3 now.
Well, that's what they did in New York on Friday night, first game of that weekend series. And tonight, trying to do the same thing. 1-run game. Olson makes it a 2-run game. We saw it happen consistently on Friday night.
Heads up.
He's broke out in the 9th inning, scoring 3.
So 2-2 the count.
How about this guy with the record? Remember, they were unbeatable, 17-2. Of course, the no-hitter. Then all of a sudden, since April 21st, 11-10 is the record.
Yeah, their 17th win on that 17-2 stretch was the Friday night game 1 of the series in Oakland, and then they lost the next 2. And they won 17 out of their first 19 games. Strike 3 call for out number 1.
Well, Matt Chapman's going to go back to Doug and say, what am I doing? 91-mile-an-hour fastball. You know he's going to be around the plate, and it froze him with a strikeout. Back-to-back 3-2 counts. And
so 1 away.
Conversation with Aaron Bush, the A's hitting coach, the skipper, but I think we're seeing too much of that around baseball. Every time it's a game and you see a fastball taken for strike 3, sometimes strikeouts are up, but in that case you just think a little bit too much when you take a fastball like that.
Nunez has it, and Canna's out. And Mark Canna 0 for 3. And here's Lucroy.
Biggest hit of the night. Jonathan Lucroy with a 2-out, 2-run double, followed by Dustin Fowler, RBI triple. Think about Jonathan Lucroy still without a home run. I always think of John Olerud, who one of the best driving in runs from left center, right center field gaps with doubles. Take those a lot more than you do the home runs by trying to hit home runs, especially in a park like this.
Picked out of the dirt by Sandy Leon. .107 pitches now for Porcello. 116 is his season high. Bogarts has it. He's going to run on Matt Olson's 5th home run of the year. I think it's worth another look. A line drive right over the bullpen. So bottom of the 6th coming up. A's lead at 5-3.
Oakland A's game night is presented by Chevron at Plank in Jack London Square. All proceeds are going to the A's Community Fund. Unlimited games, drinks, and food are included in your $100 entry fee, but you must be 21 and over. It's Thursday, May the 24th, actually a week from Thursday, from 5:30 to 8:30 p.m. Go to athletics.com/game night for more information. That is coming up next week when the A's return to the Coliseum. It'll be next Thursday, the 24th.
So bottom of the 6th inning, Sean Manaea at 71 pitches as he faces Bogarts, Nunez, and Swihart. 1-1 the count.
Have a look at the last inning when Betts hit the ball just close to being a home run, and that would have tied the game. But it turned out to be a double. He did not score. He was in the rundown. Did a good job of the rundown, but those little things like that kind of help. In the case of Sean Manaea, the double instead of a 2-run home run doesn't score. And he's maintaining now another 2-run lead. Right now trying to get an out with 2 strikes on this hitter, something that's eluded Sean Manaea.
So the count stays 1-2. Bogarts a fly ball to right field and a walk. 1 walk, 3 strikeouts for Manaea so far. Foul straight back. Bogarts is the 5th place hitter in this Red Sox lineup. reaches for that one. Pokes it toward Lowry, who grabs it. 1 out.
Very good pitch that time on the 2-strike pitch. No base hit by Bogarts.
So here's Nunez. Red Sox trying to win the American League East for the 3rd consecutive season. That's the good news. Lowry backhands. His throw to first. Another nice play by Jed Lowry.
3 exactly the same type of plays for Jed Lowry. Started the game with 2 with Benson Benintendi, and he does it again with this hitter Nunez to his right. Off balance throw heading towards left field with a perfect strong throw to first base, and a good stretch by Matt Olson. Not necessary considering the accuracy of the throw. Jed Lowry continues to play outstanding baseball. Of course, swinging the bat, but making plays like that, very special.
Here's Swihart. So the Red Sox have won the division in the last 2 years, but they have not had postseason success. 2 years ago, they were swept by the Indians in the division series. Last year, they lost to the Astros in the division series in 4 games. So even though they've won 93 games in each of the last 2 years and the division title, it ends in significant disappointment without even winning a series. We'll see what happens this year, but Sean Manaea with a very good inning. He finishes it with his 4th strikeout.
He's leading this game 5-3. How about Dustin Fowler? A ball that just eluded the glove of Benintendi in center field, and once he saw the ball drop, there he goes. And it's just an easy triple following the 2-run double by Jonathan Lucroy. First triple for the A's youngster, and it's his first major league hit on Friday night. First game of the series against the Yankees. First game of this series. First major league triple and first run batted in. It was against a starting pitcher, but he's going to face another one in his 3rd at bat.
So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and repair experts. It's Heath Hembry. So the right-hander Hembry will face Fowler, Simeon, and Joyce. 7th inning. So Porcello goes 6, gives up the 5 runs. Fowler 1 for 2. He had an RBI triple in the 4th inning. First pitch is a fastball, a little bit outside. So Porcello, 9 hits allowed, 5 runs, no walks, 5 strikeouts. Picks up a couple of home runs, which he does not do a lot of. But so Porcello leaves trailing 5-3. He will not get his 6th win of the year. to Fowler. Fouls it back, headed for the upper deck. So Hembree jumps ahead 1-2. Red Sox have a 7-man bullpen. 6 righties, 1 lefty. You see most teams now with an 8-man bullpen, but the Red Sox only 7. Only 7. Devers has it. He's got to hurry, and they just got Fowler.
Well, wanted to phone is Ryan Christensen, and Bob Melvin, the manager, with his hand up because jumped and just got it. So back into the dugout.
And Devers, he had to wait for that big hop. I don't know that there was a whole lot else he could have done. He showed off the strong arm. So Fowler now 1 for 3, and back to the top of the order, Marcus Semien. Well, they're playing baseball in Minnesota. That makeup game between the Mariners and the Twins, they just got started after a lengthy rain delay. Bottom of the first. That's a makeup from postponement back on the 8th of April in Minnesota.
Yeah, that's one of the great parts of scheduling, where you take a Western Division team going to a Central and making just 1 trip.
Sure, let's do it in April.
Yeah, do it in April, and just like the Mariners did to Cleveland not too long ago when they were snowed out the entire weekend and had to make 3 games throughout the season. That's not a lot of fun for teams, especially on the West Coast, when off days are few and far between anyway.
Have a light schedule all around baseball tonight. Rays and the Royals are playing in Kansas City. Tampa Bay leading 2-1 in the 8th. And Tigers leading the Indians 3-1 in the 6th in Detroit. Swing and a miss, and now it's 2-2. Indians with a 1.5 game lead over the Twins in the AL Central, but Indians just a game over 500. Full count now to Marcus Semien, who has grounded out twice and popped out to the catcher. And that's a base hit to left field. So Marcus Semien has his first hit.
And you know who's up above us tonight, Camp, is the great Mark Ling. You know that, don't you? He's doing all of our stuff up above and keeping everything.
Is he up there?
I don't know. I haven't heard about him, so maybe he is up there.
Yeah, he's up there. He's working hard. Mark Ling, Media Relations Department. He's one of us tonight.
Yeah. Said he's going to be this for a week and probably do nothing for the 7 games, you know. That's all right,
It's a good gig.
Yeah.
The great Mark Ling.
Yeah. Hit Fenway for the first time. Had a chance to look around, enjoy the dining, press lounge. Well, Matt Joyce, he knew this one was gone as he put the bat down and observed as the ball went to the seats to the right of the A's bullpen. Matt Joyce with a big home run, his 4th of the season. Matt Olson with number 5 for him. A's with a base runner here. 1 out in the 7th inning.
So 1-1 to Joyce, who's having a good night and starting to swing the bat a little bit. Pretty good lead at first by Marcus, so we will check on him. On deck is Lowry. Never hurts to add on in this ballpark. I'd say that about any ballpark, but maybe even a little bit more in this one.
Yeah, always a good idea that you never really breathe easily in this park until, again, you're walking up the tunnel and into the clubhouse. But oh, by the way, from the A's standpoint, they like to celebrate a victory because where the manager and Darren Bush, the hitting coach, are standing, they have to vacate that area until the umpires go up the tunnel and go to their room, which is just adjacent to the A's clubhouse. And a result of an incident that happened here recently. Yeah, how about that?
A little series breakdown since 2005. The A's against the Red Sox at the Coliseum, 37-18. Here at Fenway, 16-36. ERA is the difference.
Yeah, the skipper will have a smile on his face only after the 27th out, and he's going out to shake hands.
And Joyce swings and misses. Nasty pitch from Henry.
Yeah, a similar swing that he had on the 1-0, where he evidently was looking for something else. There's your long walk you talked about, Kite, going back to the dugout. See, the bat boy ran back. The hitter walks back, and that is a long walk. You got a lot of time to think about what you just did. Put the head down, walk back, put cotton in your ears.
Who did that? Bobby Bonilla?
Yeah. Joe McGrain did it in Minnesota. He was pitching for the Cardinals in the World Series. Didn't work, though. I mean, you're defeated whenever you do that, when you're walking in to pitch the game in the World Series and you got cotton in your ears, so you can't hear the people at the Metrodome.
1-0 to Jed Lowry, who is hitless so far today. He's hit 3 balls in the air. A couple to left and 1 to center. Missed outside, 2-0. You don't say Jed Lowry's 0 for 3 very often this year. Lowry 4th in the league in batting average coming in, 2nd in RBIs, 2nd in hits. He's 8th in the league in on base percentage and 9th in the league in slugging percentage. He's all over the leaderboards.
Well, the interesting thing, I think, is the way they're shifting Jed to the right. Yet tonight in 3 at bats, he's hit 2 fly balls to left field and a line drive to left center that Benintendi caught. I guess they feel the off-speed pitch he may pull on the ground to the right side.
That one bounced right to Ramirez. Steps on the bag. And that will do it for the Athletics. We have reached the 7th inning stretch in Boston. A's hanging on to a 5-3 lead.
Your next meeting, event, or convention. Get started by contacting the Santa Clara Convention and Visitors Bureau at santaclara.org/meetings.
Beautiful night in Boston. The A's leading 5-3, bottom of the 7th inning. Sean Manaea is back out there, and he's going to face Devers, Leone, and Betts. 8-9-1 for the Red Sox. So late innings at Fenway. First pitch to Devers is a little bit low. Devers has struck out and grounded out. Pops that one foul. Devers is a free swinger. He very seldom sees a pitch he doesn't think that he can hit hard somewhere. Pretty good at it. Esmeralda Petit warming up.
Chaminades' pitch count is outstanding. Just 82 pitches. Petit, the magician, on Friday night at Yankee Stadium. And he is doing well. Just the one walk, 4 strikeouts. And I mean, when you have 82 pitches pitched in the 7th inning, 80 basically after the first 6, that is outstanding. And Chaminades, as we have seen, he's at his best. He's usually working quickly and getting quick outs. Not a lot of pitches thrown to each hitter.
That's a good pitch. 1-2. Devers. Kind of a strange swing. And if there's such thing as a strange foul ball, that was it. It was just kind of a little looping foul ball right up over the screen.
He's shaking his head. It's almost like he was trying to drag the ball, and talk about protecting. And he did get it over the protective netting.
And that one's hit deep to left field. And that one is gone.
How about that? Wow. Get a protecting swing, and you end up doing that with the next pitch is unbelievable. But they wanted it up. Pitched it up and away, and you see the look on the face of Jonathan Lucroy after this pitch left the yard. Over the Green Monster, and there we are back to a 1-1 game. And that was a no doubt.
Little backspin on that one.
Oh, definitely.
Well, here's Leon.
And there's, to your point, often saying about the bottom part of the batting order. Leon with a single. He scored a run, and this home run by Devers hitting 8th.
Number 7 on the year for Rafael Devers, the 21-year-old third baseman for the Red Sox. So that got the crowd back into it. There's the city of Boston buzzing about the Celtics, who are in the Eastern Conference Finals. And they're going to play tomorrow at home against the Cavs. Right over, right across town. So it'll be a busy night in Boston tomorrow night.
Well, I don't think it would take away from the crowd here.
Nope.
I mean, this will be a sellout.
They may be keeping an eye on that game. Hit hard to Chapman, knocks it down, scrambles after it, and he'll have to take a bite out of it. Well, Leon aboard.
Yeah, Bob Melvin. It's going to go to the bullpen, to Petit, it looks like, as this ball. And the problem with this, he turns it over top of the batting order and came up on Chapman. Unfortunately, went too far away because Leon does not run fast. And had it stayed relatively close to him, it could have thrown him out, but had to bite it, had to eat it. And that's the second error tonight with Matt Chapman.
So when it's time for change, the Expedia Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and repair experts.
to you by the Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid, America's first hybrid minivan. Test drive one today.
So the Red Sox with a run in on Devers' home run. It's now 5-4, and they've got to Sean Manaea. He is out after 6+ innings. So Yusmeiro Petit comes in out of the bullpen, and he's going to face Mookie Betts. Betts takes a little bit outside. Petit pitched on Friday night and on Saturday at Yankee Stadium. Remember, on Friday night he did the Houdini act when he came in the game with the bases loaded and got out of it. Did not allow the Yankees to score. There's a strike. 1-1 the count to Betts, who is 2 for 3. He's got a single, a double, and a run score.
One thing that manager Bob Melvin likes about Yusmeiro Petit is the fact that he can go multiple innings out of the bullpen and more times than not be effective, as was the case over the weekend at Yankee Stadium.
Shallow left center. It's going to be Matt Joyce who makes the catch, and that's a big out. Anytime you retire Mookie Betts, I don't care how you do it. It's a big out.
You're right. And you know, the best part about these knowledgeable fans here at Fenway Park is that when a ball goes in the air, it's not like a lot of places where people think it's a home run. They go, oh. And this is a sequence, and he got under it. Pitch was away at 89, and with the changeup up the middle in his first or second at bat for a base hit. These fans are very knowledgeable here at Fenway.
Benintendi, who takes the first pitch in their first strike from Yusmeiro Petit. Benintendi's 1 for 3, RBI single and a run scored in the third. Drops low, good take by Benintendi. Youngster Benintendi, he's just 23 years old. Devers, 21 years old. Betts, 25.
And you know, because of those ages and the, I guess you could say, the lack of service time allows them to sign someone like J.D. Martinez for a lot of money. There's Handy Ramirez. His contract is going to be coming off the books pretty soon.
Center hit well. Fowler hustling back, and Fowler gets back there and makes the catch. Fowler reading it well and getting a good jump.
And Cap, what we have seen from this young man in center field, no panic, reads it well, goes back on it, and this is what you see out of a true center fielder. And the A's are fortunate to have Dustin Fowler in center field, and the way he moves and his speed, you just figure that, I mean, he could cover a lot of ground from left center to right center. That's what you have to do here at Fenway Park, and the A's are seeing some of the best in Dustin Fowler so far.
2 away for Hanley Ramirez. To the backstop, and the tying run's going to get into scoring position. So, as always, a big 90 feet.
And Jonathan Lucroy trying to reach out, and that ball bouncing way out in front. Trying to backhand it, but it does give him 90 feet. But the Own does not run fast. Runs hard, but not fast. And Anthony Ramirez, though, hits the ball, and when he does make contact, it's usually hard.
And that one in the air, down the right field line. Canna, has he got a play? Yes! And he's got it. Has a conversation with one of those super friendly Red Sox fans, and the inning is over. Hang in there, Mark Canna.
And I don't think it's going to be like Matt Chapman in Toronto either. I love it.
That's the man.
Out the space within Shibe Park Tavern. Seats will be located immediately in front of Shibe Park Tavern in our Plaza Club seats. That's an outstanding place. This is the most premium group hospitality experience at the Coliseum. Go to athletics.com/groups for details. Man, bringing out all the stops, man. That's perfect. Love it. I love that play by Mark Cannon down the right field line, too. That was special. Take a look at this. I mean, foul territory is minimal down both lines, then slicing near a pesky pole. Mark Cannon makes the play and say, "Kid, tag, come on, man." Yeah, with the Betts uniform on.
I cannot wait to ask Mark Cannon what he said.
And he wasn't smiling either.
No, I was going to say, you know, Mark's a pretty intense guy.
Yes, he is. That was a beautiful thing. That's a great play, too, because going into unfriendly territory, that ball was in the seat, so it did allow the young man with the Betts jersey on to interfere. But I don't know, had he done that, if Mark would have taken kind of to it.
So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and repair experts. It's Carson Smith, the right-hander out of that Red Sox bullpen. Inning for Heath Hembry. Gave up a hit and a strikeout, nothing else. Driven to right. Betts going back. Still going back. And that baby's gone.
Done it again. You know what? If I were the team, I'd salute him too, because that's a big boy fly ball. To go to right field at Fenway and kite just like they did on Friday night. The Red Sox score a run like the Yankees did. The A's come right back and score another one, thanks to the big man, Chris Davis, with the fastball away and tremendous power to the opposite field into the bullpen. And when you see the back of Betts' uniform, you know it's got a chance, and it does, over the Xfinity sign into the A's bullpen for a big home run to give them another 2-run lead for the Athletics.
Olsen grounds it right at Devers with the shift on. So 3 home runs tonight for the Athletics. Joyce in the 3rd, Olsen in the 6th, Davis in the 8th.
Salute to the bench and also to see Mad Dog Mington there. He's got the good salute, man. That's a military salute there when he does it.
It's just Mad Dog.
Not surprised. Look at that. You know the surprise thing about the direction of home runs for KD, the 4 to left field. Because last year, of his 43, there were not many that went to true left field. That's a big one to right field. And if that made it number 4 to right field, which it did, pretty special.
Sky toward right center. Benintendi backs up a little bit. He's got it. So 2 outs. And that'll bring up Canada. It's Carson Smith. 1-1 record, decent ERA at 3.38. Seems like every reliever now that comes in for any team has more strikeouts than innings pitched. Mark Canha's 0 for 3. Fly ball to right, strikeout, ground out to second for Canha. Nothing going on in the A's bullpen, so it'll be Yusmeiro Petit to head back out there.
Chris Davis with so much power, and you give him a fastball, there's not a park that can hold it. They really give him any pitch. It's not that just a fastball for him, but any pitch that he can hit. And this is just May the 14th. He's got 12 home runs already.
So 1-2 to Canha. Just missed inside, not by much. It'll be Martinez, Bogarts, and Nunez in the bottom of the 8th inning for the Red Sox. And that one is grabbed by Bogarts as he drifted back out onto the outfield grass to make the play. Chris Davis, another home run. He's got 12 now on the year. And as we head to the bottom of the 8th, from Boston, the A's leading the Red Sox 6-4.
What's the song?
(11-2) for the Athletics, 4-8-0 for the Red Sox. Manaea went 6+. Rick Porcello gave up a couple of home runs tonight. He was not quite as sharp as usual. And overall, the A's with home runs from Joyce, Olsen, and Davis. So he's 6 outs away from what would be a good win. Any win here at Fenway Park is a good win. The A's have not had a great deal of success in this ballpark the last 5 or 6 years. So try to hang on tonight. Yusmeiro Petit back out there to face J.D. Martinez here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Martinez is 1 for 3. And he drives one right center. Canna at the wall, and Canna caught it. No.
Oh, wow.
I thought he had it.
I thought he did too. Thought he had it.
And he could not have missed it by much. It's a home run for J.D. Martinez to make it 6-5.
You know, he reached over, the ball just kept going on him, and it just looked like as he went after it, he had a chance to catch it. And the ball, it did not come back to him. It kind of went away from him right there, and then he went after it, reached, and you can see the hands go up by somebody in the Red Sox bullpen. This is how close. He just did not get it. The officer with the hands up. And Mark Canna must have had it close to his glove because he squeezed it. Nothing in it.
So here's Bogart. So what a surprise. Now Red Sox bounce right back. That is home run number 11 for J.D. Martinez. Did he get leather on it, right?
Yeah, I think he did, because he right at the end of it, because see, he squeezed his glove and it wasn't in there.
He may have got a little glove
Yeah.
on it. Bogart's 0 for 2 with a walk. There's a strike. 1-1 the count. Nunez to follow here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Well, the ball's flying to right field, isn't it? It's amazing. From right-handers or left-handers.
Swing and a miss. Breaking ball by Yusmeiro.
And again, J.D. Martinez, 7th opposite field home run for Martinez. And the Astros let him go for nothing. It's amazing. Tigers, Diamondbacks, $125 million later to the Red Sox. 1-200.
Yeah, that's the thing. When the Astros let him go, you're like, man, what are the Astros thinking? But there's a lot of teams that could have had him after that.
You're right.
And nobody
You're right.
grabbed him except the Tigers.
Tigers, and off to Arizona, where the launch angle increased, and Dave Dombrowski said, let's pony up the money.
Simeon's got it near second base. And Bogarts is retired.
Well, if you've hit 7 of your 11 to the opposite field, your StatCast got to be pretty good. 103 off the bat, 33-degree angle, and 390 feet just out of the reach of Mark Canna, who almost got it. And you know, Mark Canna, I can never remember him playing right field at Fenway Park, and that's not easy.
No.
I mean, you got a long way to run.
A lot of room out there.
Yeah, it's not like you can be in left field where you can go to the wall and jump up. I mean, right field, it's a short wall, but it's a long, long way to get to the wall, and a long way to hit the home run to the wall.
Hard hit ball. Simeon's got this one, and Nunez is out. So a couple of ground ball outs after the home run. And with 2 outs, Swihart will hit.
The switch hitter will turn around to bat right-handed, or left-handed, that is, against the right-hander.
First pitch to Swihart. It is a strike. Swihart is 0 for 3. He has struck out twice and hit into a 6-4-3 double play. That's Brian Johnson, the left-hander, loosening up. And that one's hit to right. Canna spinning around. Canna jumps up and he caught it.
Might be a home run other places.
Ooh. Like to get out of this inning. So Martinez home run makes it a 6-5 game after 8.
approved by authority of the Oakland Athletics and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Athletics Investment Group, LLC.
So good ball game tonight, entertaining. Top of the ninth, A's hanging on to a 6-5 lead over the Red Sox. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. It's your trusted oil change, tune-up, and repair experts. As the new pitcher is Brian Johnson, lone left-hander in the Red Sox bullpen. He's pitched in 11 games. This is number 12. One win and 2 losses. Mason, Lucroy, Fowler, and Simeon. 6 runs and 11 hits for the A's. He's with 3 home runs. They got a double, they got a triple.
Not really overpowering as this left-hander, but kind of finesses the ball a little bit with 4 pitches, all quality pitches for him to use anytime.
Carson Smith goes 1 inning, gives up the home run to Chris Davis. So Olsen, an add-on home run in the 6th, and Davis an add-on home run in the 8th, and both badly needed.
Very badly.
Red Sox, they always keep a close eye on the Yankees. Yankees are not playing today. They will have a 2-game series against the Washington Nationals starting tomorrow night. Three and 2 to Lucroy. More action for Devers. He's been busy. Double clutch, his throw just in time.
Well, we saw the play attempted by Marquetta. This is what happened way back with Terrence Long. This is the final out of the game. Reached over. Manny Ramirez thought he had an opposite field home run, but Billy Koch, the closer, I mean, he ran out. Literally, I think he carried him back on the infield. And here's Marquetta, how close he was. He got a glove on it, but again, tried to squeeze it, hang on, could not do it. Dustin Fowler said, nice effort. And okay, some good plays by Mark Canna tonight in right field. Delanda Lures, our great producer, pulling up out of the archives that great catch by Terrence Long many years ago.
So Trinan, the closer, getting ready for the bottom of the 9th. It'll be Devers, Leone, and Betts.
You could tell he does not need a lot of time because he waited until 1 out before he got up. He did not get up to start this inning, which would indicate that, I mean, guys know how long it does take. They know they get 8 on the mound, so they don't have to expend a lot of energy in the bullpen by throwing so many.
Right at Martinez in left. So 2 outs here in the top of the 9th inning. And Marcus Simeon bats for the 5th time. He's 1 for 4. Slider drops in there first strike.
Doesn't waste any time, does
No,
he?
he is rocking fire.
That's right. Get the ball and let it go. He likes that 12-second rule.
1 and 2 the count.
There's nothing wrong with getting in a rhythm and letting it go. Maybe you throw so quickly, Marcos will hit one of the monster seats.
1-2 pitch. Porcello, Hembry, Smith, Johnson. And he got him swinging. So here we go, folks. One-run game at Fenway. Treinen coming in as he's going to try to save it for the Athletics.
And by SoFi, a modern finance company.
So 6-5, A's lead the Red Sox. Bottom of the 9th inning.
Time now for the Chrysler drive of the game. How about this? And boy, was this needed. Is Chris Davis, number 12, fourth to the opposite field, running hard, but into the A's bullpen. And the A's at that point had a 2-run lead. A salute from his teammates as he rounded third base, and now it's up to Blake Treinen to try to complete the deal here at Fenway Park against the Red Sox. Treinen, of course, a closer for the Athletics, and he with an outstanding two-seam fastball, great sinker, and hard slider.
Here's Devers. First pitch is a fastball a little bit high and a little bit inside, 1-0. The numbers for Treinen, very good. 2-1, 0.98 ERA. He's got 6 saves. He's got a couple blown saves. Devers up the middle, knocked down by Treinen. Treinen throws to first, 1 away.
PFP, there's at its best right there. That ball was a bullet. A bullet off the bat of Devers, back up the middle, would have been a base hit. Watch him get his glove down, bam, right there, knocked it down, kept it close enough, and able to get the out at first base. And well, you have to field your position, and he does it perfectly. Keep Devers off the base as big Mitch Moreland comes up to pinch hit for Leon. I didn't even know if it was him. I just saw the big lefty, and I figured he's the one.
So it is indeed Moreland with Betts in the on-deck circle. First pitch is a little bit inside. There's Moreland, always dangerous, and just seems to be exceptionally dangerous against the Athletics.
Well, the thing about Moreland is, yes, he's a power hitter, but yes, he can also hit it out either part of the park. There's no real way to pitch him to keep him in the park because of his opposite field power, which would be the left field.
Big swing there. Got a pitch he liked. As a pinch hitter in his career, Moreland 295 with 3 home runs, so he is hitting for Sandy Leon. Treinen delivers, swing and a miss. Down and away to Moreland, and he chased it.
It took a lot off the pitch, and Moreland thinking about pulling the ball and back door. Might have been a slider at 90 plus. Good throw it.
Popped up left center. Matt Joyce says, I got it. And he does for out number 2.
Well, the great thing about Blake Trine and what he just accomplished is tremendous, and that is to get the bottom 2 of the batting order, including the pinch hitter Moreland. Because top of the batting order now with Mookie Betts. And you want to make sure you get him out. He started a 2-run inning in the 3rd with a 2-out base hit. It was after 2 strikeouts by Sean Manaea. Had a change up the middle for a base hit. Stowe second, went to 3rd on the wild pitch. Right now, he is trying to get the 27th out.
First pitch to Betts. Outside. Betts is 2 for 4 with a single and a double. That one's hit hard to Simeon. Scoops it up. Throws to first. Ball game. Blake Trine with a 3-up, 3-down 9th inning, and he gets his 7th save of the year, and it helps Sean Manaea get his 5th win. And this is a good victory for the Athletics as they take game 1 of this 3-game series here at Fenway Park in Boston. Time of game was 2 hours and 44 minutes. The attendance was 35,249. The final score tonight from Fenway Park: the Athletics beat the Red Sox